Alrighty then, let's have a heart-to-heart. I can't be bothered to type out a whole bunch more stuff. I've already done it once, and it's a pain. Listen, I'm not a Twitter guy. I'm not one of those people that has to sit around and wants to type all day. Don't have time for that kind of stuff. The people who do have time for that stuff are the frauds like ICT, and it's because they can't just go out there and speak it and show it. They've got to go out there and type, and oh yeah, see guys, I told you I did that thing yesterday, or which of course it's not in reference to the thing that they're talking about. They can't just go out there on a video and show it to you. And it's like, yeah, see guys, I called the market. Yeah, he's like, well, the market might go up, or the market might go down. If it's right here, it might go down. The next day he's like, oh, see, it went up. See, I told you it was going to go up or down, and then it went up. See, so I was right. Okay, so that's the background. We need to get into this stuff. So ICT has finally accepted my challenge. I'm going to just correct the record for all the people who keep coming out there. Vinny, you can accept his challenge. First, I don't know why you guys keep saying that. I feel like every time you're talking with an ICT student, you're literally talking with a 16-year-old child living in his mom's basement, or like, trying to talk about something complicated with like a third grader, somebody who's, like a kindergarten child. You can't talk to a kindergarten child about algebra, but these ICT kids want to try to get in the game and talk about, some high level intelligent conversations. And then it's like talking past each other because like there's just this just goes in one ear out the other, but I'm just go ahead and talk to the intelligent people out here. This is not for the ICT students. You guys are too stupid to understand what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. You guys are asking whether or not I'm going to join into the Robbins Cup, and I've explained this in the past. Number one, NinjaTrader by default, in fact at all, cannot connect to the Robbins. Do you guys understand that? No, you probably don't. Oh, you're just making excuses. I'm literally telling you, you can go out there to Robbins, ask them if NinjaTrader can connect to their system. They force you to use their broker, which is a turd, and you can't connect with it with NinjaTrader, which is why ICT wants me to do the Robbins. And what's funny about, trying to compare systems, if you're going to try to compare his system to my system, but then you're going to tell me that I can't use my system, do you understand why you as ICT kids are so fucking stupid that you think that's a legitimate argument? You're not allowing me to use my system, and you're, you should be able to trade without your system. You're not as good as us. Again, you're stupid. You're always going to live in your mom's basement. Listen, I know every single one of you, you're either in Nigeria scamming people, which the majority of all of ICT students, they're outside of the United States. They're off in countries, and this is not a racist thing. It's just a fact that they are in the most populous places where if you go onto Google search to find out where the #1 places are for scams, and they are all where ICT students are from. Now, as far as ICT, the guy lies 24/7. There's a saying in the industry, if you've been around the trading industry for a period of time, how do you know when ICT is lying? Well, it's when his lips are moving. The guy lies 24/7 about anything and everything. And I'm even going to point out this whole thing. You guys keep talking about, ICT's like, oh, I've got 299,000 students. First of all, again, he just lies about everything. So subscribers now are students? That's stupid. Okay, but that's what he says. 299,000 students. And what's funny is he's buying all these. Like, I don't know if y'all have watched. Again, if you have any kind of tracking software, 500,000. This is not normal growth. This is paid for growth. He is literally buying these subscribers to fake you. And it's just, look, I don't care if he does it. If you guys don't care, I don't care either. He can buy whatever subs he wants. He can do whatever he wants. It's a beautiful thing about being in America and a free country. You can go out there and buy it. But the thing is I think it's still wrong. Just because you can do something does not mean that it is right. Now, that's my personal leaning because I'm a moral person. I am a Christian. ICT claims that he's a Christian, which is a hilarious joke to me. I'm going to show you guys a few things that he said even recently. I mean, the guy is a mental case. He is not a Christian. Don't give me that crap. Now, again, I'm not his judge. And if at the end of the day, he is a Christian, well, that's fantastic. I mean, Christians can go to hell. I mean, there's a passage in the scripture in Revelations that says, though many may come to me in the end day and say, Lord, Lord, have I not done these things in your name? Have I not done this stuff? And he says, depart from me, I never knew you. I have a feeling, if from what I can see from ICT's fruit, scripture says you can judge them by their fruits. Well, the fruits of ICT are fraud, con artistry, and lies. And who is the father of lies? Satan himself. Now, let's get into some of the other stuff. So we've got this. Let's go into some of this other stuff. So here, he writes this long and lengthy thing and telling me come into the Robbins again, which we've already explained several times. I cannot connect Algobox to Robbins. So he's like, yeah, let's do the Robbins. And I'm like, there are lots of other ways for us to do a competition. A normal human would just get on a phone call, which I've asked him to do. I have called him several times, left him messages. He never calls back. He is a child. ICT is like dealing with like a kid in class who's always getting in trouble, and then whenever you try to call them out or try to say anything to them, they're like looking around and flipping around, and then they're like, and they're like talking to their friends and yelling to their friends. And his friends are a bunch of 16-year-old kids. Like literally, you cannot find an ICT student over the age of 19. Like all of his students are between the ages of 16 and 19, all brand new student traders trying to like not have to go to college and go out there and try to, they're being sold this dream because ICT tells them, college is a scam, which is hilarious. His kids, he'd rather his kids work at Chipotle and, scrubbing floors and toilets than to go to college, or to even if he doesn't agree with college, why not give your kids a skill, like send them off to a tech school where they can learn to code or do something useful with themselves. But ICT's rants on this stuff, it's just, it's very indicative of the individual. Now, the reason I'm going after the individual itself is because you're asking me, Vinny Emini, who I have won multiple trading competitions, and people who say they didn't know you were in a competition. Folks, there is one situation where the competitor, you could say, maybe did not know they were being in a competition, and that was with Ross Cameron. Ross Cameron went out there, was going to do a small account challenge, and yes, then I decided to go ahead and do a small account challenge, which I made into a competition of, well, let's see who can do a better job, and I absolutely destroyed them. We recorded every single day, live streamed it out there, and it's out there for you guys to go and check out with that one. The other two that have been called into question, let's give this is a little history lesson here this evening. The very first competition I ever did was against another Michael. His name was Michael Oates of Chicago. He called himself Oates to a Million. I recognized him as being a scammer a while back. It was 2017, I believe, and maybe 2016-ish. It was between 2016 and 2017. And he was running a trade copy service off of, I believe it was, I can't remember which one, so I don't want to mess it up, which trade copy service he was using, but a lot of people are following him, and he was running a martingale. And I had called it out, said, hey, you need to be careful with that. Anybody who's following that, a martingale is always going to explode within 6 to 9 months. Yes, it will work, and it'll be fine for a while, but it will eventually blow up, because you can see the drawdowns that were occurring, and him adding to positions and trying to get out of positions with a few $100 every single trade. And we started a competition because there was a heated battle going on there, and it was bad. I learned very early as I went public out here that there are disgusting people. I did not expect the absolute lashback that I received even from the Oates to a Million group, but yes, it was like the same thing. He was kind of a thuggish person out of Chicago, and I'll just be honest, he kind of attracted that type of person to him. And the people that were surrounding him, basically were, viciously attacking me and personally and with my family and stuff like this. So my first go rounds into competitions, I already experienced the disgustingness of this trading industry from basically, I wouldn't say day one, but from competition number one that I got into. I don't remember how we challenged each other to go head to head, but I had recorded mine on Collective 2. I went out there and set up Collective 2. He had his on, I wish I could remember which one he was on, because he had his students copying him. Mine, people could copy my trades as well. I don't know this whole stuff of ICT. I didn't want people to copy my trades. Look, he's a selfish, non-Christian, disgusting person. He wants to be better than other people. That's his obsession, is to prove to people or to tell people or make people feel like he is superior to them in some way, form, or fashion, which is why his 2 children are beta males and very demure and very, I talked to his eldest son on the phone once recently, and then actually no, it was the second time. I got a really nice phone call, really nice guy, and just very soft-spoken and very low-key, whatnot. Dude, these guys, they just sound like they have just been beaten down their entire lives. And no surprise, the way that ICT is, we're going to show part of the video clips here recently. and why I'm hesitant to go into this competition again with ICT. Now again, you want to go toe to toe and go competition to competition, I have no problem with it, but my family's already been threatened by him. He's already sent his thug Shane Fields to come out there and literally talk about the most disgusting things, doing the most disgusting things to my children and to my wife. I don't appreciate it. ICT claims that, oh, prove that I sent it, prove that. I'm like, well, obviously it's kind of hard to do that, although we are suing him in Georgia, and hopefully at the end of that we will find out whether or not and how he was directed to do so. And even if you didn't, I've said this before about ICT or anyone else, if someone in my crew did what Shane Fields did to me, to anyone else, and if they were part of my crew claiming that they were he claimed he was an ICT student and he's a big ICT supporter and blah 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 when he's coming after me, if it had been someone in my crew attacking someone else in the way that he had, and I heard about it, because I am a real man, I am a real Christian, and I have real morals, I would stand up and tell that person, I would denounce the fact that someone did that. I would call it out to say that that was wrong, and I would personally apologize to ICT or anyone else who that occurred to. ICT has zero ball sack. He is a fucking child. He fucking has a ginormous ego, and he doesn't care. If somebody does something evil to he's like enemy of my enemy is my friend type of person. If something evil happens to somebody that he doesn't like, he thinks it's good. That is the telltale sign of a non-Christian. That is not what a Christian does. You cannot have a Christian, you cannot have the love of Christ in you and do that. And for him to be able to stand by, he heard the stuff that Shane Fields said to me about my children and the threats that he was doing that were real threats, or felt like real threats, and that I had to get the police reports on and literally taking them to court and all the stuff that occurred, and yet he never denounced it. He would never say that, oh, it wasn't me, I didn't do that. He just kept saying, prove it, prove it. Listen, that is a disgusting person. You literally are a disgusting clown, ICT. You are a fucking clown. You are a fat fucking fraud. You have been lying to people for years. I'm going to show a few of those things here this evening. I don't want to take up too much time, but I do need to talk about this whole competition and how it's going to go down, if it's going to go down, because I'm not playing these stupid games with ICT. He has backed out of more competitions than I have won. Listen to what I just said. He has backed out of more competitions than I have won. I have won 4 trading competitions. Yes, I mentioned to you about the one with Michael Oates. As far as people saying that he didn't know he was in a competition, he absolutely did. We were going head to head. It was every single day. We've got emails back and forth. It was a big deal out there. The videos and the live streams were there. My full Collective 2 record was there. We did it for an entire 6 months. He blew out right around the 6-month mark. I continued with my track record on Collective 2 for an entire year and a half after that. As we started the competition, because it was a third-party verified system, I thought it would be a good idea and people could copy my trades. I did that for a long period of time. Those of you guys who don't know my history, you guys can go out there and check those. You can look at my Forex, my old Forex channel, and you can see my Collective 2 records inside of Discord channel chat on the left-hand side. Look for third-party verified Collective 2 records on the left-hand side of Discord if you'd like to go and look at those. I ran 128, 138% in a year in Forex. And again, Forex is very difficult to do that in. ICT goes out there, and of course he didn't do Forex. He went out here and he did futures, which is leveraged. Let's talk about the leverage here real quick on futures, because again, ICT doesn't teach his students things. So any of the ICT students who are still in this conversation, even though I've told you you're too fucking stupid to be here, if you're still here, let me tell you about actual futures leverage. So when ICT was telling you that he, made 100% in his accounts, running from 25K and then running it down to 23, and then whatever he ended up finishing out with, he claimed that he doubled it. I stopped following the whole thing. I looked at his stats at the end. All I know is that his stats were absolutely terrible. They were nothing along the lines of what he usually tells you. He literally had 49% profitability with a 1.1 profit factor. That is guessing. That is pure guessing. That is not a good trading strategy set up, and for long term it would have never made it. He traded less than 25 real days. That was a turd. If y'all think that that was a track record, I am laughing at you. That's my whole point. Y'all are stupid. ICT students are stupid. Oh, you did a TD Ameritrade account for a month, less than a month, actual trading days, less than a month. Y'all are stupid. Again, some people are like, oh, Vinny, you didn't do a 2-year track record. I did a year and a half. And then my dad went into the hospital down in Houston. I had to go down there and take care of things. Nobody wants to give me a personal excuse, but for whatever reason, you guys give ICT excuse after excuse after excuse. You thugs like to stick together because I don't know why. Like you have mental problems, and so like you can't win on your own. So you got to have this like group mentality, like, oh yeah, we're all together, we all suck together. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I can't explain it, so I don't know. That's my best guess at it. But maybe you guys can explain it to me a bit. So let's get into some of these things here. All right, so let's talk about my stipulations in this competition. Let's talk about the second competition I've been in. So I talked to you guys about the Michael Oates one that was, pretty caustic. Got my feet wet under, what kind of turdery is in the industry. The second one was interesting, also got brought to me, which was against Macro Hedge. Now, somebody said the other day that, oh, Macro Hedge didn't know you were trading against him. Like, I don't know what crack rock you guys get this stuff from. It's all live stream. There's live videos over all of the Macro Hedge stuff. It was massive drama. It was on Twitter. What I would like you guys to do, if you guys think that, well, this is just Vinny saying this, what I would encourage you to do is talk to some people who were around. There are many people out there on Twitter. There's a guy named Shop Trading LLC that you guys can talk to. He's an elderly gentleman who followed this whole thing. He followed back with ICT even before his Twitter days. I really found out about ICT around 2016 or so when I went out there on Twitter, and before I left Twitter, I got banned from Twitter. I got gaslit. People were attacking my homes. People were going out there and doxing my family, not just mine, but not just my own home, but my family's, my parents' home, my sisters and brothers. They were being threatened that their house was going to be burned down. They were talking about cutting my wife's brake lines. All those things were recorded. I believe what happens is when evil and good like just don't mix. Oil and water, darkness and light just cannot exist and cannot coexist. And evil people absolutely hate good people to a level where they literally seek their blood. The Bible actually talks about this in Proverbs, and I have seen so much disgusting stuff, and nobody else has received the level of attack that I have. I've never seen anybody else out there being attacked. Now, at the same time, there have been people who have attacked and they've backed down. So maybe that's the thing. When they tend to get attacked, then when people back down, I just don't back down. So maybe that's why I've continued it. There's a theory around that. But if you guys want to run it by a couple people, you got Shop Trading LLC. You've got Tom Dante, who was around with that whole thing, and another guy who's been threatened so much that he is. I mean, we've had a lot of conversations, but he's like, it's not worth it to him because he lives in the UK. They don't have guns and things. They have no way to protect themselves like we do here in the US, and he's been threatened with these ICT craziness. He's been threatened with Peter Davies with Jigsaw stuff. And yeah, it's dangerous to be out there. So, he kind of tries to stay out of it. But if you guys want to, he'll vouch for the truth. He wants to stand for the truth. He just, he can't be out there publicly about it because of the death threats that he's received to even his family members. And it's just disgusting that this even occurs in this industry. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. But let me tell you why it is. It's because of people like ICT. I'll tell you right now. And that's why I continue to fight against it, because I think it's disgusting. And I am a warrior. I am called by God to come out here and destroy these evil fucking people. Whatever it takes, I will go out there and I'll call it. It will be my mission until the day I die. I don't care if I die doing it. I will go down doing something good for the trading community or the community at large. This guy is a fraud. He is selling you dreams and lies. But if you read this whole thing, again, there is zero professionalism about this whatsoever. A real competition with normal people and human beings that could be a friendly competition. It could be like, well, let's see whose is better. Let's go. May the best man win. You can't have that with a child. This is a 50-year-old fart, old ass fart, ugly motherfucking fat ass. But he comes out here and he talks like a child and acts like, listen to the ego in this bullshit. It's just disgusting. I'm not going to waste my time reading it to you again, but go down this whole thing. It's turd. And he tries to control everything, just like he does with his kids and his family members, that they're all like cower to him because they're all fucking betas now. Because this fucking overbearing turd ass wants to control everything, even the cars that they buy. I'm going to do a video tomorrow on ICT's bad advice when he's starting this video series called The Ends. And when he literally starts by putting his son into debt with a car that is a turd and then has him give his other car away to his other brother, which is weird because he's like, oh yeah, I think that a dad should buy their son their first car. And then he goes over there and says he forces his 23-year-old son to give his car to his other son so ICT doesn't have to buy him a car. But you like, ICT kids are so stupid, they don't even pick up on the fact that ICT's like, oh yeah, dad, I think should buy his son his first car. And then he's talking about how then his 23-year-old son is going to have to pay $900 a month for the stupid Toyota piece of shit Tacoma. $900 a month on a car note. So where is it that ICT bought the car? He didn't. He won't buy cars for his kids, but he, like, do y'all understand how he used word manipulation? And you guys are so like, y'all can't even follow the storyline. I was sitting there like, what the heck? He's talking about he's gonna buy his son a car. And then he's like, oh, my son's gonna have to pay $900 a month for it. I'm like, that's not buying your son a car. He picked out the car for his son. Listen to what I just said. He chose the car for his son. That is how much of an overbearing, demonic cunt that he is, that he will go out there and he'll be like, oh, you're gonna get this Tacoma. What if your son didn't want a Tacoma? I'm sure he did. I know better. Well, that's the whole thing. ICT wants to go out there and he won't let anybody in his family or anybody around him control anything. He likes to control everything. He thinks he's better than people, and he's a fucking big fat ass 50-year-old cunt is what he is. And this is evidence of it. Same old stuff. And then he's even trying to come in here and tell me how many contracts I can trade. Again, it's not like, okay, your system versus my system. Well, I'm going to trade one contract. Listen, one contract trade is no surprise. Like, that's all you know how to trade. You can't trade more than that. You're like a 0.01 lot trader. That's what you ICT kids do. Every smart money concept person I've ever seen trading, even on your MetaTrader 4s, is like a 0.01 lot. You're all afraid to trade. You can't actually trade. That's the whole thing. You're just guessing, and you're hoping one day that, hit the jackpot. Maybe you hit a winner one day and get a black swan event. But ICT wants to control every aspect of this thing, which is why, again, I hesitate to get into this whole thing. I will absolutely destroy him. Our system is algorithmic. It is unbeatable. It's undefeated already in every trading competition there was. ICT has blown every account he's ever had. We've gotten it from the word of mouth, but from Joel Robbins himself. All I had to do was sit down and have a conversation with Joel, show him that I could have brought him a whole lot of people to come in, and all of a sudden, Joel's singing like, a little raven out there, and he told me all the stories. He told me about how ICT blew his account 91%, comes in with 5K, leaves with $500 in his pocket, with his tail between his legs in 2017. Same thing in 2018 and 2019. All ICT does is blow accounts. I don't know why you guys keep talking. Now you're all like, well, Vinny, it was the past. What are you talking about now? So wait, let me get this straight. Your guy sucks ballsack, right? But then you want me to go prove again that he's terrible at trading. It's a little bit weird to me, okay? And you want to step to me. I'm literally the ultimate champ. I have won every fucking trading competition. Your guy has won 0. Hasn't even gotten on the leaderboard on the Robbins. So let's talk about the next part about how ICT ducks out of trading competitions all the time, okay? So I told you guys about macro hedge. So the macro hedge event, I went into the macro hedge competition. A lot of people knew that the macro hedge competition was going down. Like, everybody knew it was going down. He talked so much smack, he had to ultimately end up apologizing to me, which is, what, I give him credit. ICT wouldn't come out there and apologize and say what was wrong about what his little minions are doing that he directed to do, where he doxed me, put my phone number out there, told everybody that I was calling a minor, so to make people angry and gaslight his group to attack me. He did that on purpose, and then he pushes his minion Shane Fields, which I tracked down. Again, he didn't come at me like, oh, my name's Shane Fields. I had to track him down through police departments and FBI to find out who that was. And his name is Shane Fields. Police have already talked to him. Apparently he was living in a car in front of his mom's house. So again, no surprise, ICT student. That's the type of life that ICT students have. I saw videos of them from Nigeria and South Africa, living in absolute squalor, but they're on their little laptop, hanging on every word of ICT, because ICT keeps telling them, you can hear this and guys, one day you can be like me. Whatever, dude. You are a con man and a fraud. The only reason you have any money is because you started selling mentorships, which is a whole other thing. When ICT went to go sell his mentorships in 2016, he said he was going to give the money to charity. Well, there's no evidence of that. People were following up on that for an entire year. There was no evidence of him ever giving that to charity. And ICT, if you're going to do a competition with me, well, that's one of the things you need to come out here and show everyone. Show everyone that you gave that money to charity, because you also said that you were going to put $3 million into escrow, which is the only reason I was interested in doing the competition last year to begin with, because you said you were going to put $3 million on the line. I don't see you talking about, where's the $3 million that you're talking about? All of a sudden you're acting like that didn't happen. You said you're going to put $3 million into escrow. So I don't mind jumping into a competition with $3 million on the line where there's actually not just a waste of my fucking time, where I can give that to my charity. So you come out here and prove that your 2016 money that you gave to charity, which the thing is we know you're not. You know you didn't, but you should have an IRS tax form that would show it, or a write-off for it. You need to show some kind of proof that you gave that money to charity like you said you did, because that's the only reason everybody jumped into your stuff to begin with. And then you just lie. And the people that were in it have all told me what you did. You blew your accounts while you were sitting there, that you were doing the live streams to them and everybody watched you basically do absolutely terrible trading. You blew your accounts there too. Folks, this is the history of ICT. So you're coming over here telling me to waste my time with this 50-year-old 3-year-old. He's a fucking child. He's not mature, and he's a dangerous person. He will literally send people at you to hurt your family. Not you. He's not even big enough to come at me. I would beat the fuck out of him. Seriously, I will take a fucking assault charge to be able to have the opportunity to meet him in person. I would beat the fuck out of him. I rearrange his face back the way it was before he got that plastic surgery. I would beat the fuck out of him. Period. 100%. Because of the fact that he threatened my family, I will fucking beat the shit out of him. ICT, give me a chance, bro. You invited me to your house now. I don't like planes. You come to Texas, I will fucking beat your ass and I'll bury you in the back of my property. Okay? So as far as this trading competition goes, we can do this trading competition, no problem, but we're not doing it on your terms. You're not pulling the shit of, oh, you go out there and you show, you get it. No. That's not how it works. You have ducked out of multiple trading competitions. I did the macro hedge competition. I did Michael Oates competition. I did Ross Cameron competition. I challenged you. You went out there, did it earlier this year, and while you wouldn't do it at me directly, I did it simultaneously. In 3 days, I beat your entire trade, your entire results in 3 days, where you had traded for more than a month. Well, which was not an actual month, in actual days, but literally beat you there. I have beat you too. Now, you want to come out here and then like, oh, let's finally do it mano y mano. Okay, well, that's fine. Pony up the 3 million like you said you were going to, and let's go. Now, I realize you don't have 3 million, right? So I don't know why I'm telling you to go do it, because you don't have it. You didn't donate that money to charity, okay? And as far as you ducking competitions, so you ducked on Adam Webb. Remember, Adam Webb is macro hedge. So let's remind everybody who this is. Adam Webb was the guy talking all smack who literally apologized to me after all the drama, okay? But ICT backed down from him. Did I back down? No, I didn't. I suffered the consequences of it. Yes, it was terrible. It was tough. It was rough. It was disgusting what I had to deal with, but I still destroyed him in a trading competition. And yes, of course he knew that I was trading against him. I don't know why these people keep saying, well, you've only traded in competitions where nobody knew about it. That is made up, because that's what happened with Ross Cameron. Because yes, Ross Cameron didn't know that I was going directly against him. It doesn't matter. It was compared. His results versus my results. Sure, it wasn't an official competition, but that's one out of the 4 competitions that I have legitimately won. So I don't know, and as far as legitimate, I still think that was legitimate. A lot of other people still think it was legitimate. In fact, it was pretty genius on my part. It's the only trading competition that had 0 drama. Did you know that? Like, Ross Cameron wasn't sending minions to my house to kill my kids and rape my wife, is what ICT did, right? So, drama-free. That was pretty cool, right? Drama-free event. That was amazing. I, enjoyed that trading competition and got to show off my skills in our system. That was amazing. And live stream the whole thing, so my members got to benefit from it as well. Wasn't that pretty cool? Let's talk about some more. So, if you're keeping score, ICT backed down from macro hedge, right? I beat macro hedge. Ding ding. So he's backed out of 1. I've won 2 at this point. Now, Tom Dante goes out there. Mind you, ICT is always like, all right, I'll get the Robbins, get the Robbins. So Tom was finally like, fuck it, I'll go in it. You know why? Is because ICT implied to him that he was a guy named A Masters. If anybody remembers this, there was a guy years ago, A Masters, who was up like 5,000%. pretty much YOLOing it in the Robbins. Okay, ended up blowing his account, didn't make it, but in the first few months had gotten up pretty big. YOLO trading is you only live once. You're kind of going all in on whatever the trade was. Who knows? It's probably some crude trade or something like that at the time, I believe. But ICT was like, shh. He was implying to Tom that it was him. So Tom was like, oh, you're in there? Oh, well, okay, fine. Well, I'll get in there. So Tom goes and takes him up on the challenge to go into the Robbins. Now, mind you, ICT's thing was like, oh, I'm not going to get out there unless you get on the leaderboard. Well, I think that was stupid of Tom to have taken that offer. I mean, you're literally dealing with a child here, but he did. Tom Dante, to his credit, he's a good dude. He goes out there, he's a good trader, and he goes out there and he gets on the leaderboard. He's like, okay, I'm on the leaderboard. And he calls out ICT. He's like, oh, I'm on, there's my name. And ICT even saw it. He panicked. ICT panics and like, and he's like, well, get to first place and then I'll jump in there. So again, ICT is a guy who just moves the goalpost. Folks, I do not have time for the bullshit. I got 4 kids, a wife, I've got elderly parents and whatnot. Tom at the time, I mean, he didn't have any kids. He didn't have, family things that I'm having to take care of and whatnot. So good on Tom that he's got time to deal with an ICT turd. Okay, I don't right now, even more so. I got another baby. He's 6 months old now, 7 months old, and I don't have the time to deal with a 50-year-old fart in, third grader in a 50-year-old fart body. I just don't. Right now, if it wants to be legit and he wants to put real money on the line, he wants to put real money when he put wherever he's going to make up that $3 million from. I'm not interested in his demo dollars. Okay, I'm not a demo baller. He's a demo guy. I don't want his monopoly money. I'm not interested. All right. So he backed out of Macro Hedge. Y'all keeping track? He backed out of Tom Dante because, by the way, Tom Dante, did ICT get in there? No. So ICT backs out of that one. There was a guy out there on Instagram. They were like, oh yeah, I was getting a training competition. Blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, what happens? ICT backs out of that one too. Last year with me, ICT backing out of that one. So that's 4. So ICT's backed out of 4 trading competitions, and I've won 4 trading competitions. Are you keeping track? So as far as me defining the rules and why I'm saying, before I do anything of this shit, ICT has to prove that he's going to get in again, because again, he's blown out his account multiple times in the Robbins before. But as far as, and mind you, that's him just trying to go in there and just trying to get on the leaderboard. ICT has never gotten on the leaderboard in Robbins, yet he's about the Robbins all the time. And with me, he wants me to only do the Robbins. Mind you, he won't do a normal trading competition like any others. None of the other groups that I did competitions with forced me to do that. I can do a trade copy service on Collective 2. You can have any other verification service to do it. You can have a third-party person verify. There's all kinds of other trading competitions, but he's like, oh, I gotta be the Robbins. Mind you, I've talked about the Robbins. Here's one of the problems with the Robbins. As I talked to Joel Robbins, I wanted to just test the waters to see if what I thought was true, and it was. I believe that the Robbins is a turd contest. Why? Because I don't think that you should be able to run multiple accounts. Okay. Now ICT's over here talking about, no multiple accounts excuse. Wherever that was, where is it at? Yeah, here it is. Multiple accounts. No multiple accounts excuse. Again, ICT has already heard me before. I said this last year. They allow you to run multiple accounts, and I don't trust ICT. He's already talked about, oh, my son will win it. No, well, that's exactly what Larry Williams did. Larry Williams, his daughters won. Oh, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Let's see. Daddy's trading one account, and then there's daughter over here. Do you think his daughter was actually trading? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Larry Williams is running multiple accounts, and whichever one hits on the leaderboard, that's the one he runs with, okay? That has been my speculation for years. Pretty much confirmed it when I talked to Joel Robbins, and Joel Robbins told me, and I've got it recorded, and I'll show you guys tomorrow. I'll play that part of the video. He literally told me I could run 5 accounts. I could send him 100K, and he divided up into 20K each on each of those accounts, and I could run all 5. You think that's a real trading competition? Because I don't. And again, if you think it is, then I don't think that you are. I mean, you're not qualified to have the competition. You're not an honest person. I mean, this is for honest, intelligent people that I'm speaking to here this evening to understand. I'm a logical, very straightforward person. I like the truth, and I believe the truth will set you free. I am a Christian, and I don't believe that you should be able to run in fraudulent trading competitions and get away with it and try to, you're pulling the wool over people's eyes. This is exactly what Satan does, and this is literally satanic, evil bullshit when you are pulling the wool over people's eyes, deceiving them. That's what it is. It's deception. ICT is a deceiver. He is a con artist and a fraud. None of the stuff that he's ever said was true and legit. We were talking about this in, let me show that clip here real quick. Yeah, when ICT really wants to put on the Ritz, I mean, he just lies. I showed this in that last video. Him out there saying, telling everybody that, oh, I have 5 children and I put them all in $2 million trust. That's BS. 2 had older home. I put them in the 2013 and 2014 in the 500K range. Oh, really? Because he had said this, I went out there and checked. Found his kids living in a fucking trailer park. You don't buy a trailer for 500K. He's lying. He lies about everything. He said that he was running with market makers. There's no proof of that. He talks about he worked in the banking industry. There's no proof of that. He has never worked in that. He talked about running here 18.5 million in spot. He's talking about these numbers that he ran. He's never made this money. He's never had any money. He said that he lived in a mansion, 12,000 square feet. All of it was lies. This whole thing, just lies, all lies. Talking about working for some fund out of Maryland. It was all fake. It was all fraud. I was talking about Baltimore. Somebody asked me the other day, did he mention a actual city? Yeah, Baltimore. So again, he just lies all the time. How do you know when ICT's lying? When his lips are moving. Literally lies about everything. Let's show a few more. And the reason I'm saying this, again, is because I hesitate to go in and waste my time with a guy who, again, I could win the whole thing. And I was going to go, he could just go out there and lie. And his ICT minions are so brainwashingly stupid. And, you know, they're all young and dumb and they're just, you know, desperate. I literally hear some of their phone calls. Some of them have actually talked to me and been like, oh, Vincent, you know, is it really true that he said? So again, there are some people who really are seeking the truth. So at least I am reaching some people. If I can't reach all of them, I know I'm not, because there's too many of them that all they want to do is resell the concept. They're like, well, I'm going to go learn something, I'm going to go resell it, because that's how they're going to make money. They're not ever going to make money with actual smart money concepts or ICT concepts. Those are all fraudulent. They're not going to work long term. They have literally a loss rate of 97%. Even on FTMO. FTMO actually shows their stats out there, and 97% of ICT traders blow their accounts in the first and second month. Listen to what I just said. 97%. Folks, that means they have a failure rate greater than even normal traders. The 90-90-90 rule. 90% of traders lose 90% of the money, 90s or less. It's 97%, meaning their concepts are worse, literally worse than any other trading system that's out there. And that is saying something. And that is because ICT lies to you on the left-hand side of the chart, making you believe that that's what will happen on the right-hand side of the chart. And he is lying to you. And you guys are buying it hook, line, and sinker. And I honestly kind of don't care, but I do. I care, but some of you guys, the viciousness and the evil that you guys show, I don't want you evil people to succeed. I want you to stay in ICT's world. I want you to fail. You are some of you guys are thug life turds, and I think you guys should stay there. I think you're cursed by God by the way that you treat your other people around you, the way that you talk, the way that you walk. You are a turd, and you should remain a turd. Some of you guys, and it's just the truth. So some of you, I don't feel bad for. Let's look at some more. So I've got a recording out there where ICT got on a phone call with Ty Zillionaire when he was also trying to go into a competition with him. Oh, I forgot about that. That's another one. He ducked out of Ty. That's 5. That is 5 trade. I almost forgot about Ty's. I forgot to put that one on the list. He backed out of a competition with Ty. Ty was like, come on, let's go. We'll do a trading competition. We'll do it for a week or a month, whatnot. And he's like, and I said, no, man, I don't see you in the Robbins. I don't see you in the Robbins. Again, he just, Robbins. And Ty's like, what is the Robbins? Like, don't even know what the Robbins. Again, he wants to push people on the Robbins because he knows about how you can fake it. You can trick it. You can run multiple accounts. He can run accounts under his son's name, under his name. He can call them all Huddleston, and then just be like, oh yeah, I called myself C Huddleston, which is Cody Huddleston. You know, and just be like, oh well, no, it was me, and then, or the other C was Caleb, Huddleston. And he's like, oh well, which account won? You know, listen, ICT is a fraud. You cannot trust him. So, folks, I am an intelligent person. I'm just going to tell you, I don't trust him. So here's what I've said that he can do. I'm just going to remind everybody. I've laid it out on my community post. All he has to do is exactly what he told Tom Dante to do, because he seems to think this is okay. 1, join the Robbins and show it. 2, get on the leaderboard. Okay, show me ICT, that you're on the leaderboard. 5th place, get the last place on there, and I will come in there and I will steam you in. And I already told you that if I do not beat you 10x, because again, my system, it's not fair for you to go up against me. It's really not. Okay. 10x. Again, I give you a 10x margin head start. Forget the head start thing. I mean, I'll give you a head start to start time-wise, but it's a 1-year trading competition. 1 year? Fuck you, bro. I will destroy you. 10x. I have AlgoBox, bro. You have no idea. I mean, you should have watched what I did with Ross Cameron. I mean, I can do numbers that you've never even done before, bro. I mean, my pool in my backyard costs more than you've ever made in any account you've ever owned, bro. There were some discrepancies from you the other night. Well, hold on, let me finish these out. So these are what I'm telling you. If anybody wants to go out there and say, well, here's Vinny's stipulations, it's very simple. He joins the Robbins first. I'm not joining out there first. I'm not wasting my fucking time and going and doing some one contract bullshit. And I can't attach NinjaTrader to it. So you want me to drop everything. You want me to drop my live trading and my business of trading. You want me to drop all that so that I can get into a competition that maybe ICT joins and backs out of? I don't think so. And there's no $3 million escrow that was part of the reason that I would have possibly taken him up on it from before, because the guy's a fraud. I'm not interested in doing trading competitions against frauds. Like all these little kids who've come out here, oh, Vinny, I'll go get you. Look, if you haven't proven yourself, I have no reason. ICT has never proven himself to begin with. Now, I will do it just because this guy is a scumbag. He has gone out there and attacked my family. He sent people at my family if he's not done it directly, and he did not denounce it. That's my problem with him. Now, if he wants to change all this tomorrow, he could change all this tomorrow. I will tell you right now, and I will forgive him. If tomorrow he could turn around and go out there and be like, you know what, Vinny, you're right. I should have denounced what Shane Fields did. I literally didn't have anything to do with it. I'm sorry that he did that to your family. That's all it would take. That was all it would take. But he doesn't have the balls or the stones to do it. He is a fucking piece of shit cunt. I talked to his son, and I can tell. His son even thinks his dad's a fucking cunt, but he can't say it. He's scared to death to talk to me more. Although, I don't know, he might still, which is probably why ICT is willing to come at me now, because he is really upset about the fact that I have proven he's a fraud. I continue to call him out and being a fraud. More people are waking up to realize he's a fraud, and his sons are now calling him a fraud because I have shown them. I have sent them some of the video clips, and they're like, oh, well, I didn't know about that. All I did was data entry. Literally, son's like, well, I did data entry for him. I really don't know what he did. Yeah, because his dad keeps his whole family, all their family, in the dark about how he is a fraudulent cunt. He can't have them believe that he is anything less than God to them. He is a fucking piece of shit person. And so for me to go out there and beat him in a trading competition to prove it, to save people from him, sure, I'll go and take that on the nose. But I have stipulations. 1, he joins the Robbins. 2, he gets on the leaderboard. Now, I think that normally in a normal trading competition, I think it's stupid for me to have these stipulations. I'll be honest. I think it's stupid. But this is ICT, this child. This is like trying to trust a Democrat to do something right. You may as well, it's like, it's not going to happen, right? So to get that guarantee in there, fine. Then ICT, you get in the Robbins, you get on the leaderboard. Don't blow out this time, which again, you will. You've blown out every other time, 90% every fucking time, bro. You're not good at trading. You suck. You absolutely suck. You try to martingale. I've seen your fucking stats, bro. I could tell you martingale. You just add to position and hope it goes your way. You are a fucking turd. You can't call the markets. What are you talking about? Oh, I called it ahead of time. I called it ahead, bro. The left-hand side of the chart does not count. You've got to trade on the right-hand side, the right-hand margin, bro, where you can't see the numbers, even though you say, folks, there's a video out there, I recorded the whole thing, of his voice, where he literally said that he told God to send him a sign, and he thinks he sent him a shooting star and a fireball from heaven and hit him in the ass, and now he can see the right-hand side of the chart before everybody else can. He literally said that. Now, he's telling that to people in his crew so that they'll keep paying. He tells them this story about month number 6. Another year, in month number 6, when people are about to stop paying him in his mentorship, he tells them a story about Tobias and Parsons and makes it sound like ICT is part of some like secret society, whatever. He's talked about another one of the other years that he did. He was telling them about how he knows the Rothschilds, and then he works with the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds don't like what he's doing out there, sharing with the small people how things work. Folks, all these stories that he tells, he's just a liar. He's a big fish telling storyteller, bro. I mean, he'd make a great grandpa. I mean, if his kids ever, have kids, which they're such betas, I doubt that's ever going to happen. I mean, seriously, they sound like they are so beat down. I mean, I don't know. I would be very surprised, but he'd make a great grandpa. All right, because he is a fish telling, storytelling guy, can talk all freaking day. because I mean the guy just can't shut up, and he's like, oh yeah. And then he's telling these stories about how he's got mental problems. He's got, you know, he comes out here and does the speech and the talk stuff for physical therapy or something. Like, y'all believe this stuff? I mean, seriously, like, look, intelligent people know ICT is a fraud. And the other people, I do feel sorry for some of the people that are ESL. There's a lot of people who are English as a second language, so you can't tell how in ICT speech patterns that it's very clear to most people who maybe, you know, English is their first language and have, you know, been around English their whole life. But if you're ESL, I think you have a hard time understanding that ICT is a fraud and all the stuff that he's talking about. You just think that, oh, he must be telling the truth. Because you know what? You probably also come from a society where, you know, telling such huge lies is just like, nobody does that. Well, here in America, like, the bigger the lie you tell, like, then the better the Democrat that you are, right? So that's ICT. So just be careful with them. So here's my stipulations laid out, very simple. Join the Robbins ICT, get on the leaderboard, and then my guarantee is that I will blow him out 10x. I think that's quite reasonable. And if you don't think it's reasonable, well, I don't know what to tell you, but your guy has backed out of more competitions than I have won, literally. And I'm not going to trust him to come into this one. He's already backed out on doing the $3 million escrow, which, again, I don't know why y'all thought that he had $3 million to begin with, right? But I'm calling him out to you. I said, let's make it 5. I'll put 5 million because I do have the money. This guy does not. He has zero access to funds. He lives in a fucking dump. I'm going to remind everybody, lives in a dump in Maryland. His 2 sons live in trailer parks. And one of them, his dad forces him to be the hospice care for their elderly father. It's crazy. It is absolutely disgusting what ICT makes his sons do. I feel sorry for them, both of them. Caleb, Cody, y'all want to call me up one day? You want to do some good? You want me to help you out? Again, I am a father to the fatherless, and as far as I can tell, you guys are fatherless children. Y'all, your father has abandoned you. He is a turd to you. Now he's talking about one of his sons, Caleb, like, who he's got under his thumb, like he's telling him where to move. He's telling him what car to buy. He's forcing him again, because you know why? Not because he loves his son. It's because he loves his ego. He's trying to scratch his ego with his son's bat. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. If you've been following the whole thing, and I know most of you ICT kids have, guys who are my career, like, what's he talking about? I am going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to make this thing less than an hour, I promise. Here we go. So here's the real ICT. Again, like me trying to respond to a person like this. This guy is irate. He is a danger to himself and others around him. I have these stipulations to protect myself, my family members, and the people around me. I'm not going to put them at risk for this idiot right here. It says in this little... You guys tell me what he said here. I can't tell. You tell me. Let's listen. Okay, again. Melon farmer. You know, so we say around here, we don't say these words. Okay, we say melon farmer. This guy just goes off and says whatever he wants. You know, I don't care. I mean, this is how you are. But the thing is this is evidence of who you are. You are a turd. You're a trashy person. So all you people who are out there like, oh, ICT, you know, he's such a good person. He loves, y'all, he's even upset that some of you guys are making money reselling his turd ass videos. And what's funny is I feel bad for the people who are actually buying those turd ass videos, because they are absolute garbage and trash. They're completely fucking worthless. And he's actually even said that they are worthless. Now, mind you, he's like, oh, because that was back for then. Again, if his trading concepts were worth anything, he could release the videos to y'all, and y'all would see that it's basically all worthless. It's all just random stuff. Like, I mean, it's like buying every book at the grocery store and being like, oh, well, here's some ideas. They're all just ideas. That's why he calls them concepts. And you guys are so stupid. You're like, oh, concepts. You think that concepts are a real thing. Like, if you go look up the definition of a concept, it's not a concrete thing. And it literally starts with the con in the front. Concept. He is a con artist. You guys need to stop falling for the bullshit. And this guy right here, this screaming, yelling, nonsensical idiot, who, again, I didn't pull up the Thai video, but he did the same ranting, raves, and yelling like, where you at, motherfucker? Where you at? I mean, he got on the phone with Ty. Ty's trying to be, oh, hey, it's good to hear from you, Michael. He's like, oh, where you at, motherfucker? I mean, he's just completely fucking crazy. And any of you guys who are following, well, he's crazy, but he's good. And no, he's not. Like, I'm crazy and I am good. Okay, there can be that combination, but ICT is not it. He is a delusional, egotistical maniac and a fucking con artist and a fraud. Nothing more. Okay, I think he. So that was one fun part. Let's play the next one. I'm gonna help everybody out. You've been helping him out. I'm gonna help him out. You be you, bro. You just keep being you.
Motherfucker, let's go. Sitting around fucking making stupid ass fucking.
What's funny is stupid ass mother. We realize he's like, you out there making fucking millions of yeah. It's funny. He's like, oh, I don't want to say that. My people will be like, oh shoot, you know, he knows Vinny's actually making money. And he's like, oh, he's out there making money. I mean, I'm so frustrated. Making up stupid. Okay, a little Joe Biden moment. Oh man, that was funny. Yeah, he's screaming and upset Joe Biden moment about us making real money. You having a hard time there, bro?
Motherfucker. Man, you better bring your fucking shit, because I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of the year, if you don't fucking step to me, bitch, I'm going to open up a can of fucking whoop ass on your ass. You will not be fucking looked at as nothing but a fucking clown the rest of your fucking life.
Okay. Yeah, something about a clown. So again, this is the guy. You guys want me to sit down as a reasonable person and have a legitimate competition with this guy? Like, there's not going to be anything legitimate about that with this clown, unless, like I said, I have 3 stipulations. 1, he gets in there. 2, he gets on the boards. And 3, the stipulation that I'm putting in there is that for the win, I've got to beat him by 10x. It's very simple. And I got a whole year to do it. So everybody who's like, well, that's still, no. You get on that board, you prove that you're in it, you can talk all the smack that you want, you can be a turd, whatever, you know, trying to get into people's heads, because that's all he does. He just tries to get into people's heads. Like, you can't get into my head, bro. I am 160 IQ, and you are a fat fucking fraud, bro. Like, you don't affect me whatsoever. Absolutely, you are a fucking piece of shit. You threatened my family, you threatened my wife, you threatened my kids, you are a fucking piece of shit. But you belong behind bars. He does. And give me the opportunity, bro, I'll take it. So I'll do it myself.
Motherfucker. No, I am not everybody's fucking choice mentor.
Did you hear what he said right there? He's not everybody's choice mentor. Forget everybody. The only people that he's a mentor to are, like I said, 16 and 19-year-old kids. Look around, all you ICT people. Find somebody over the age of 21. You won't. There's not one person who's fucking... Nobody's stupid enough to follow ICT who has a brain, okay? You have underdeveloped brains. Those of you guys who are your little ego cunts who are sitting there over in the comments all the time, you know, defending ICT and acting like, oh, ICT, he's good, he's God, he's all this. You listen, you have daddy problems. You know, you probably don't have a father. No offense to you. But I'm literally saying, like, I don't understand why you would have such this... honor to this guy. I don't want to even say the word honor, but you know what I'm saying. You act like he's daddy to you. And okay, maybe you need a father figure. Okay, he's your daddy figure, but you can't lie about him actually showing real proof and that you're successful with his system. You're not.
I am not fucking balanced.
Not balanced? Okay, this whole thing, and he likes to try to come back and play it's a victim card to him whenever he does these rants or whatever. This is the true him. This is the crazy inside of this man, and he is a fraud. He thinks he's better than other people, and he thinks that he can justify what he's doing and then turn around and say, oh, it's because I'm bipolar. Dude, that's lies. All of this is just lies. It's BS. Now, I'm not buying it. You shouldn't buy it. The guy's just a crazy. It's all it is. He's a maniac.
Who likes my fucking ass? But come into my fucking house.
He does care about who likes him. He's out there like talking about he's all. I mean, people who say that they don't care about the people that they're checking their social media every 2 minutes and like you can't get away from your computer because you gotta like write something out there so you can get some thumbs up. Because you can't, he's not validated anything else in his life. His wife won't validate him. She probably hates his guts. His kids don't like him. He has 0 friends. The guy's a fucking idiot. The guy literally drives out of his driveway, and when he annoys his neighbors, I remember one of the mornings he drives out and he turns on his car and he like revs it up. He's like, brrr. He's like, yeah, I know y'all heard that. He's like, I know my neighbors did. I mean, he literally, he was taking joy in waking up his neighbors in the morning with his, you know, he thinks he's got a muscle car because he has a cheap ass Corvette that he's going to go flip. Again, the guy's a car flipping machine. He even talked the other night about, I do a lot of volume with these guys. Yeah, because he fucking flips cars. He is a car leaser. He just, you know, flipped his lease again just recently. And then he's like, oh, now I'm going to buy a used truck. At least he's finally buying like trucks. I mean, like, but then he bought a Dodge, which is hilarious. In Texas, we all joke about how Dodges are for douches. Douches drive Dodges. So it's funny. He bought a fucking douchey looking Dodge, and it looks like it's for a 22-year-old kid, you know, and he's 50 years old. He's a fucking old ass piece of shit, man.
Come to my motherfucking house.
Listen to this guy. He's a fucking, I mean, seriously. It's offensive to me that I even have to, like, you're going to bring a competition to me with this guy, which again, I brought the competition started. So I realized that I hate the fact that y'all are like, oh, you need to accept his challenge. Y'all act like it is now, and I feel like I'm falling in because you guys say it enough times. I mean, you're even rubbing off on me. But again, I've lit up the competition. It needs to be a normal competition. I need to be able to use my system. You know, he wants me to do the Robbins. It doesn't matter. I will literally do a secondary chart, use their stupid trading dome or whatever they have to use to enter into their system just to prove that this guy is such a turd that even half-ass using my system, that his system isn't even, I mean, it's like, it's almost like fighting with a 5-year-old. I mean, like, you could put your thumb on their forehead. Like, that's what it is with my system versus ICT's. He doesn't have a system. So, I mean, I could literally trade blindfolded and make more money than he can. Like, that's a fact. Okay, first of all, your house, let's remind everybody, dude, nobody wants to come to your house. Your house is a... So, yeah, I mean, we talked about this. Like, everybody who's like, oh, he's worth 750 million, folks. This is I mean, I think some of you guys think, oh, this would be great if you had this house. Well, first you're going to need to sell a lot of mentorship, okay? Because that's how you get this house. You sell a lot of mentorship. This is not trading, okay? Oh, I downsized this. No, you didn't. His house before this, he wasn't in a house. He was in a fucking little duplex looking thing. It's not even a duplex. It's just a multi-story townhome, and he didn't own it. But, you know, his kids have lived in it, and one of them's living in one now with his grandfather, and he's doing, like, I mean, I don't want to say hospice care because I don't know if he's actually dead, but that's what ICT kind of described it as. It sounds like hospice care, and he's having his son like do his his nursing stuff because ICT is too cheap to get a real those elderly homes things to take care of people.
It's pretty sad,
cheap
bro.
ass. He doesn't have any money.
I can't fucking do something, bitch.
I already said you can't do something. You can't trade, bro. ICT, I can't trade. You I can turd. That's what you can do, bro.
10 times what I can do, 50 I can.
Yeah, see, he remembers when I told him that I would do 10 times. Now he's trying to say that he'll do 50 million. Again, how childish is that? I'm literally saying, now why do I say 10? Because again, my system is way better than his. Our system's leverage is way better than his. So yes, I am telling him that, look, I'll give you 10x head start on it. And then, oh yeah, well, I'll do 50. I mean, this is what a child does. This is what children do. This is, he's a 50-year-old man, and you say this kind of stuff, bro. You are a loop, bro. Yes, you're a fucking clown, bro. 10 times. I did say that. All right, anyhow, just refreshing some of this stuff. I'm bored with it. Oh, here was that A Masters thing. This is him talking. This is Tom Dante and him. He's like, oh yeah, did you see A Masters up 5,000? He's like, shh, acting like it's him or one of his accounts, plural. It's like, again, this is what I mean by, like, ICT will lie and cheat. He'll go out there and say, he's supposed to be trading under his real name, and he'll be like, oh, I was trading under A Masters, or I was trading under Bellawella, or I was trading under, I mean, there was one, it was like, I don't know, some LLC. He's like, oh, I only trade under LLCs. So again, the guy is a con. Like, until we see it, you go out there, you say, this is me on the leaderboard, that's you, okay, prove it, great, awesome, then I'm in. Until then, I'm not. Because when he told Tom Dante, to catch up, he did. He got in there, he got on the leaderboard. That wasn't him, even though he implied that it was. A Masters was not him. Again, that's what I mean by the guy just lies. He has no problem lying whatsoever. Here he is in, let's see what year this was. I can't see the year on this one, but it says, I'm not blowing out Munchkins. Robbins is still on. I had my fun for April Fools. So when everybody was like, looks like you're, nearly blowing out your account because this is when it was being tracked. He's like, no, I just ran it down on purpose. Well, it never ran it back up, folks. I can tell you that right now. And then he just started to make excuses. This is what I mean by, look, you ask yourself, you're in my shoes. You know the guy's a proven fraud, okay? Proven fraud. 100% con artist. And you're in my shoes. You got 4 kids, wife, elderly parents to take care of, stuff to do, right? You're a trader. You come into the day. You have your system. You do your thing. And then you've got this crazy ass con artist child who wants to get in a trading competition with you, who's backed out of all these trading competitions, who reminds you, so you're used to trading somewhere in the neighborhood between 16 to 40 contracts. Okay, it's my usual stack. Okay. And then this little child wants you to come over there and put on, it's like going to bowling and putting in bumper lanes. You want to play with the retard kids. Okay. You got the bumper lanes. Okay, I want you to do bumpers. One contract trading, waste your time. And you're not going to make any money in the competition. Okay, not real money. When you're making real money up here, okay, I'm targeting 7 figures a year with my system. And now you want me to come over here and target ICT money, which is like 25, 38K a year, what he makes on YouTube. Okay, I can't live off of that. Okay, so where's the 3 mil? This is what I'm talking about, the 3 mil thing. Again, that's another one. If he wants to circumvent all this, again, I'm not even asking for the 3 mil. He doesn't have 3 mil. Okay, but he claimed he did. This is what I mean by he would just lie. So why do you expect me to take him seriously? And then I'm just going to enter in and be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Let's get in there and whatnot. Just because, look, the louder you guys talk, the more it makes me not want to do it. So all you ICT kids who are out there yelling and being obnoxious, the more you do that, the more I'm backing out. Okay? My wife has already said, wow, these people are fucking crazy. My wife's like, ICT is a fucking nutbag. You know, he's probably going to rot in hell. You know, my kids like literally pray for ICT at night and be like, oh, dear Lord, you know, pray that ICT becomes a Christian one day and that he doesn't go to hell. Like, that's literally the prayers from my little children about ICT because they hear about you, bro. You're a disgusting turd. My kids are awesome. You know, and so is my wife. But you're a turd, bro. Now, so again, this is to the people asking you. You expect me to take this guy seriously? If you were in my shoes and you were being honest, you wouldn't. You'd be like, if you were a real business person like me, you wouldn't take this seriously. I don't take this seriously. Until he gets on the leaderboard, don't come and talk to me. Last things, I think we covered it all. Those of you guys who are looking for my training, all you people who talk about, oh, Vinny, you don't do anything on your channel with teaching or training. I have literally 1,500 videos on this channel that you're currently sitting on. There are a lot of training videos on it. But yes, I have moved over to another one. If you would like to come and actually learn stuff, I split this out so this would be completely undistracted, 100% all training over on this channel. You can go check it out. This is our AlgoBox trading. I started this up last month. Doesn't have too many followers on it. 1,405. If you guys want to come and subscribe on it, come and learn real trading, real quant level stuff. You can try the system for free. You can use it for 2 weeks for free. The room is 100% open to the public. You guys can come and check it out. Training is over here. So all you guys who are like, Vinny, I wanted to see some of your trading. That is over here. You want to see some of my live trading? The entire small account challenge is out there. My past live streams of me trading is also over here. My mentorship, if you guys want to see my mentorship level, you want to see the difference between ICT and me, you can go over there and check that out. If you want to see the results between him and I, again, go check out my small account challenge. That is on this current channel. You can come right over here, and if you scroll down the page, oh yeah, it's the first one. It's the first one on the list right here. Oops. Ah, come on. Don't misclick there, Vinny. Here we go. Small account challenge playlist. You can see all of the days of that trading that we did with Ross Cameron. It was about 4 months of trading every single day, fully live streamed. You guys can go check those out. Final contest results. Anyhow, my stipulations are there. Take care. Have a fantastic weekend. ICT, fuck you.